Welcome in to this special edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports, live here from Super Bowl 59 inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. As we just wrapped up Super Bowl Opening Night, we heard from everybody, from the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles, as they talked about their preparations for the big game. The matchup, the rematch, as these two teams met just a couple of years ago. The Chiefs, of course, going for the three-peat. The Eagles going for revenge. Every storyline covered, and we had a little fun in the process as well. We're going to play you some sound bites from the night coming up in just a bit, but I want to go over some of my own personal highlights from the evening as I talked to both the Eagles and Chiefs players and some personnel throughout the night of their thoughts. And let me start with Chris Jones, the CEO of Sack Nation. And, you know, I'll say this. I've talked to Chris Jones for a long time and had several conversations with him over the years, and he's always been a fun, outgoing, energetic guy. But tonight, I saw a Chris Jones that was very relaxed, a Chris Jones that came in with some pizzazz about him, that this Super Bowl, it doesn't faze him at all. And that's kind of the vibe you're getting from this entire Chiefs team, that they're taking on that mentality of their head coach and quarterback, that the moment is not going to be big for them when the lights are bright like you're seeing here come Sunday afternoon into the evening when this game kicks off. Couple other notables that I talked to. Isiah Pacheco made a very interesting headline. He was asked about his injury status, as it's no secret that he hasn't looked like that same running back that we're accustomed to seeing since he returned from injured reserve. And obviously he got banged up again and came back, but has never quite come into motion yet necessarily. And Pacheco said that he feels 100%, that he thinks that he's all there and good to go. And so that leads me to two things when it comes to Isiah Pacheco that I wonder. One, is he actually 100%? And then two, if he is the run blocking going to do their part? Because you think about this when it comes to this Kansas City Chiefs team. Although the offensive line, since we've seen Joe Thuney take over the left tackle position and greatly improve at that spot, at the left side, and been a difference maker, we haven't really seen the run blocking come through the way that we were hoping to see necessarily. So, with that said, if Pacheco is 100%, if Kareem Hunt can play like he did in the AFC Championship game, and the offensive line can get some run blocking going, then we can be finally talking about seeing the run game we've been waiting to see literally all season, as Isiah Pacheco has not had a 90-yard game since week 2. So that, to me, was a very interesting takeaway from him. Also talked to Brett Veach a bit, and he reiterated his points when he was talking about the offseason plans, that they are going to review. They're going to view the draft as their central free agency at this point, that they believe that their number one priority is taking care of re-signing guys this offseason. You know, we talk about Trey Smith and Nick Bolton and Justin Reid and company that want to do that. But then they don't expect to spend much in free agency. They don't have a ton of money to deal with. So they're looking at using the draft as their way to take care of that. And that's kind of par for the course for this Chiefs team that under Brett Veach has built themselves to the draft. And I asked him, you know, here you are going for this three-peat. And this has your fingerprints all over this. How does this one feel? And it was kind of refreshing to hear. He's like, you know what, honestly, this one actually feels just as good, if not better, than the rest of them because of all the work to get to this point of this dynasty. So pretty fascinating listening to Brett Veach on that front as well. And one more final note before we get to the highlights from tonight. I do have to point out, Harrison Butker, I did ask him, does the man cook? And the answer was a yes, by the way. He enjoys cooking as well. Enjoys cooking some Thai dishes. So very fascinating. Some breaking news there on that front that might shock a lot of the haters and the losers and the naysayers out there. So with that, we will get you the rest of the highlights from tonight's opening night of Super Bowl week, but make sure to subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report for coverage all week long here from New Orleans as we're live on Radio Row. We're covering the rest of the news conference, all that and more right here on the channel. Let's let you hear from the highlights tonight here on Super Bowl opening night.
Yeah, we keep it very similar to what we've done in the past. We're consistent with it. We try to keep it as consistent as we can for the players, just in general, so that they kind of know where they're going, what they have to get done, and then we go about our business.
Thanks. Good luck.
Someone and bust out crying. It's just, when I'm sacking, it's usually the emotions usually happen before the game, right? Usually I'm taking in everything, trying to grasp the feeling, the emotions, the crowd, the energy. Before I play, I feel like I'm about to go to war. You know what I mean? You know that feeling you're about to go to war. This is do or die. And I'm like, I might not come home from this. You know they like be like, football is the most physical sport anything can. So I take that to heart before the game. I'm like, I might not come home.
KC in the house, let's go. Yes, coming in with this class is phenomenal. You can see they're all working hard. Good things happening to us. It's the mentality that we're coming in with the leaders, Coach Reid, setting the stone, eliminating distractions and following and going through with the calls. I wouldn't say limit my game, but I'll say that I was dealing with adversity this year. We're more healthier and ready to roll. Yes, I feel good. Just coming out every day, just focusing on the team. It's not myself. It takes all of us to win the game, and that's what it takes.
Of the veterans and leaders on this team, who do you listen to the most about how to approach your first Super Bowl?
I listen to all of them, but the guy that probably gives me the most critique is Trav. I feel like Trav is gives me advice in the game, so just learning from you guys is the best.
Appreciate it.
True and what I hold close to my heart, and anything that comes, and obviously I'm blessed to be on the Kansas City Chiefs, to be their kicker and to be at another Super Bowl. Oh yeah, opened up a lot of good conversations, and a lot of guys had differing opinions about it, but we all love each other in that locker room, and we all know who we are, and I think all the guys understood where I was coming from, and I know they respect me, they respect what I have to say, and I got nothing to apologize for, so thank you.
Reid, we're right back where we were the year before that, the year before here, the year before that, and then describe the journey it's been over the last 4 or 5 years, kid out of Shawnee getting to live out his dream.
It's been amazing. It's nothing short of a blessing, so I'm thankful for it every time. And this is something you don't take for granted. It's so hard to get to this point, and for us to be able to do it these past few years, it's been nothing short of a blessing.
You talked earlier about the changes you made to your snapping motion. How do you retrain muscle memory outside of just reps? What really goes into that process for you?
Yeah, it's really just reps. Getting as many reps as you can, working on different footwork as you're doing it. There's so many different things that you have to do, so many angles you have to take while you're snapping. So just making sure you're getting a ton of reps doing all those things.
You talked about how the offensive line has gone through some changes this year, has overcome some obstacles in a sense. Obviously, Joe sliding over to the left side and kind of figuring out what the right side looks like as well. How do you guys work through that together as a unit, as a room, and get to this point?
Yeah, I think it's something that this position is, you got to be selfless in this position. So you got to be able to play well together at all times. And so I'm just proud of the way the guys have fought this entire season, how they've battled.